Lately, I have been running into a lot of videos discussing which software you should personally choose for game development. Should you use Blender or Maya? Godot, Unity or Unreal? Usually, these kinds of videos come to a similar conclusion. Maya is the industry standard, Blender is for hobbyists, Godot is for 2D games, Unity is for indies, and Unreal is for AAA. And while maybe this is superficially true, I'm here to tell you that actually, the software you choose doesn't matter. To set the stage, I will tell you a short story. I have been working with Blender for quite a while, and during a university internship, I was hired at a company that only used Maya. At the time, I had zero experience with it, and I was understandably required to use it to fit their pipeline. Despite it being a new software, I picked it up fairly quickly, and in less than a week, I was already tasked to model props. Fast forward to now, I am still using Maya for professional work in another job, even if I have limited experience with it. So how is it even possible to learn Maya so quickly? The reality is that every concept you will learn through your modeling journey will apply university, no matter what software you choose. Topology, UVs, subdivision, bevels, mirroring, the list goes on. If tomorrow you chose to switch to 3ds Max, your knowledge will transfer over. Likewise, an experienced Maya user will be able to pick up Blender or any other 3D software very quickly. The same is true for Godot, Unity, and Unreal. These videos that are circulating online are offering you the illusion of choice. Knowing one software well makes learning the others much easier. I'm not saying there aren't any differences at all, or that you'll master them instantly, but someone who is highly proficient in Unity will generally feel comfortable in Unreal, and vice versa. So there isn't much of a choice to make. You could spin a wheel, choose randomly, and be perfectly fine. And if you can somehow reason why you would prefer one software over the other, there is always some kind of catch to the choices you make. For example, although many opt for Unreal to stick with blueprints, blueprints embody the same programming principles as traditional coding, meaning that you will effectively learn to program regardless. So really, these choices are more of an illusion. In a way, if you're learning one software, you're indirectly learning all of the others. You're learning the general skill of game development, 3D modeling, or programming, which can be applied to any related program. What matters the most is your skill and how well you're able to express that. A Maya using company will consider a good Blender user more than a bad Maya user, because the software you choose doesn't matter as long as you're capable of learning new software and aren't a stubborn fanboy. If you will work in the industry, either as an indie or a professional, you should get comfortable with the idea that you will inevitably have to work with a new tool. It's impossible to avoid. A living example of how little the engine matters is Arcane Studios. Despite using a wide number of engines, their games are consistent in quality because the craftsmanship matters more than the tool. In the age of fast-spreading information, it's easy to advertise certain tools or software to be game-changing, but the reality is always pretty boring. For example, your strongest tool for good level design is probably to write your ideas on pen and paper before you even open the engine. And your strongest tool to get better at art is just to draw. Now, of course I'm exaggerating a bit, but if you're looking for that secret formula that will 10x your learning or make you achieve a certain style, it unfortunately doesn't exist. There is no Blender add-on on this planet that will replace your ability to think, design, or significantly improve your skill. This is not to say that softwares are exactly the same, but generally what is achievable with one is also achievable with the other. While technology like Lumen might seem game-changing for high-quality lighting, you will quickly realize that it's just as easy to set up similar good-looking scenarios with other engines. As stated in one of my previous videos, all modern game engines are built with PBR and energy conservation in mind. Most rendering principles are derived from a handful of influential papers, so more or less you can expect all engines to behave very similarly. Of course there are strengths and weaknesses to each engine, but they are overstated and most of the time not even true. Why does Unreal have to be the realistic engine? And why does Unity have to be the stylized engine? When in reality they're both equally capable. Understanding their true strengths and weaknesses requires years of experience that you just shouldn't care about if you're starting out, and usually their limitations are unbelievably specific and won't realistically apply to you. What I'm trying to get at is that there are definitely cultures around each software, and the culture shapes how individuals perceive these software. At a high level, Maya is the standard. Because of that, people that want to climb their way into this industry will automatically be attracted to it. The top artists will most likely be Maya users, and the top work you'll see will most likely be made with Maya. But does that necessarily mean that Maya is the best 3D software? Or is it a reflection of its culture, its history, and its industry adoption? A beginner might open ArtStation and think, damn, if I want to get better results, I must use Maya. But the only way to reasonably achieve better results is to improve at the craft in general. Culture is everything. If Godot and Unity are seen as the indie engines, they will automatically attract indies and cultivate that kind of culture, despite them being capable of so much more. It's the same reason why different cultures with vastly different mindsets can exist despite humans being genetically identical. Naturally, bubbles are created and people will be attracted to the bubble where they think they belong the most. And that's okay. But remember, people shouldn't be judged by the color of their tool, but the content of their character. Before ending the video, I have a quick announcement. My friend Radium wrote an interactive book on geometry nodes. You can click the nodes and learn how they work directly in Blender. This is not sponsored, I just think it's really cool. So go check it out and check out his channel. I put all the links in the description. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video or just want some free stuff, check out my donation page.